I think once they started to hit on what was working for them, they started to hit it harder and work better on it. So I, yeah, I really think they truly found their sound personally, kind of in that drinking from the sun, walking under stars sort of era. It's where you're getting, that's when you're getting like I Love It or Cosby Sweater or like songs like that, and even like changing up the tone a bit with like Through the Dark if you're across the slightly deeper cut there.
What is going on? Welcome to Rue's Reviews, where we keep it for real, for real. I am Rue, aka the Culture Black Kid, and today I have a special guest. Please introduce yourself.
All right, I'm Dan. I write at Check Your Pulse, and I've been working with Mumba for the last what month now, two
Yeah,
months, something
about a
like
month,
that. It's
about a
been
month
good.
or
It's been
so.
real. You might have seen me around on the singles, on the
Podcast.
on Feel on the podcast, Feeling
Yeah,
Iffy. Like I'm around. I'm there. I'm writing for the Substack. Like, yeah,
you're popping in a little
yeah.
bit more. Nah,
I'm
for
here
sure.
and there, and I'm here again to pop in today for this review.
Yes, and we are reviewing the latest project from a legendary and probably one of the most successful groups in Australian history, regardless of genre,
No
Hilltop
doubt,
Hoods.
yeah.
Adelaide's hip hop trio, Suffer, Pressure, Debris. This is their ninth studio album. Last one 6 years ago, The Great Expanse. So it's been the longest period in between releases. Had the honor of interviewing Hilltop Hoods on Rue's Room. Definitely a big highlight moment for me. Shout out to Dan as well for helping on the questions.
Just huge. So exciting to watch that one come together and just see. They got a real knack for the camera as well.
Oh, facts, facts. They were on.
Oh,
They were switched on from the jump. I'm like, oh.
that was a great, yeah. If you got 20 minutes to spare and you haven't checked it out, go check it out. It is like just a great interview.
For sure, for sure. So, yeah, like Dan said, make sure you go do that, but don't do that yet because you got to watch this review, see what's up. So, without any further ado, let's get into our initial thoughts.
All right. I like it. Like I love Hilltop Hoods. I've been listening to Hilltop Hoods since God, I would have been like an early teenager. Like Drinking from the Sun, that would have been just coming out when I was getting into them.
Mm,
And I know they had quite the back catalogue at that point as well.
mm,
Um, there's always just something to like about Hilltop Hoods and their music. And Fall from the Light for me is it's no different. There's just so much to enjoy about it. There's so many things to appreciate, which I will be getting into a little bit more detail of. They still got it. They're still a super fun band. They're still like really just they just make the most like enjoyable music. They switch it up on occasion, keep you guessing, but you know what you're getting now. You're getting that classic Hilltop Hood sound, and I think for the most part, I think that's a good thing.
mhm. No, for sure. And I mean, you kind of just said it, but the first thing that came in my head after the first listen was, "Yep, this is a Hilltop album. This is
It
exactly
does what it says on the tin. It's
it.
absolutely a Hilltop Hoods album.
It definitely did not catch me off guard. But I think for me, whilst that definitely, yeah, they haven't missed a step. They're always great. I also think that because it's in that vein of it's also a Hilltop Hoods album, it can sometimes go the other way as well. But like
Yeah, totally.
definitely,
Yeah, when I say for the most part, I mean like it's great and they make great albums, but then it is a Hilltop Hoods album
yeah,
at the end of the day.
no, for sure. So let's get into a little bit why we might like it and might not like it. But let's start with the pros. Dan.
Um, they've really found their sound, I think. They know what they want. I think there was just a little bit more trying to figure it out in the earlier days. Like we're talking way back now. We're talking calling hard road, that type of thing. I think once they started to hit on what was working for them, they started to hit it harder and work better on it. So I really think they truly found their sound personally, kind of in that drinking from the sun, walking under stars sort of era. It's where that's when you're getting like I Love It or Cosby Sweater or like songs like that, and even like changing up the tone a bit with like Through the Dark if you're across the slightly deeper cut there. But it's like that's the sound, and they've kind of figured it out. And I think that they really made something by building on that sound. There's a lot of tracks on this album that I would say are kind of in that vibe. So, just looking at the track list here, you've got like Rage Against the Fatigue, really like it's got like a bit of a Cosby Sweater type to it. Like it's one of those sort of fun, lighthearted ones that yeah, it's just really enjoyable to listen to. It's a bop. It will go off at a show or every Australian festival from here until the end of time, as we all know and love Hilltop Hoods for.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, they've really sort of locked into the exact niche or sound that is theirs, and they really own it. I really liked that part of the album.
Mhm.
There's just in that kind of playful vein, there's this real like fun run on this album, and it goes like Naked, Rage Against the Fatigue, The Omelette, Don't Happy Be Worried. And I think even before that it's got like oh yeah, Get Well Soon. Get Well Soon is like before those tracks. And it's just this, I don't know, they're just fun lyrics, they're light lyrics, they're a little bit quirky
Mhm.
in the way they do it. They sound like they're having a lot of fun, which I think matters for a project like this. And I think it matters when they've been in the game as long as they have. Like their first EP came out in '97. Like that's nearly 30 years ago now. So yeah, they're enjoying it as much as I think they can be enjoying it, and I think that's a great thing. I think it really pays on this album.
For sure. For sure. Do you have any standout tracks?
I'm gonna go with the Moth for that, the closer. I don't really see, uh, I don't really have any like closers on Hilltop Woods albums that I go, yeah, that's the best track. Like
Mhm.
they hit up the singles, they know which ones. There's a couple of like slower tone ones on other albums that are great, but like looking at the end of the album, if it's not like an interlude or something like that, it's like um, maybe not one of the strongest.
Yeah.
But I really like this. I think Nyasa kills on the hook. And yeah, like this is just a really strong closing track. It is a little bit tonally different from that like fun run in the middle of the album.
Mhm.
I did like also that Nias is the feature on the
Oh,
at
yeah.
the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
Like
It's
I
a good
think
full
that's a
circle.
yeah. It feels like it just rounds out the album really well.
Mhm. No, I agree.
What about you?
So, yeah, it's interesting you say the closer thing. Just to quickly comment on that, I was literally running through my Rolodex of Hilltop Hoods closers, and honestly, like I think my favorite or the one that stands out to me most is the Sentinel from The Calling.
True. Yes.
That's a great closer,
Is
but
that a that's a closer? Far out. I
yeah,
forgot.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
that's a fun closer. But yeah, you're right. Even a album as critically acclaimed as State of the Art or Drinking from the Sun, Walking on the Stars, it's the closers aren't as strong as the meat and potatoes, the Cosby Sweaters, the I Love It's, and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a great point to bring up. And Niasa also again a very much a highlight of this project as a feature. Um, I think personally, I think this project is a lot more consistent than The Great Expanse. Um, I think, yeah, sonically, it just feels like, oh, right, this feels like you said, they're having fun and they've gotten to a rhythm where they're like, ah, yes, okay, this is the sound, this is it, we've stuck to it. The Great Expanse felt like they were like dabbling with some things, especially like
Yeah.
and whilst again, it still feels like a Hilltop Woods album, it just felt a little messy in pockets.
Yeah, well, this one's like a little bit more streamlined. Like it has that fun section in the middle, but then like you get songs towards like the latter part that like something bigger than this
Mhm.
year. It finishes with the moth. Like it just has that sort of okay, here's your fun part.
Yeah,
Now let's kind of change the mood a little bit as we go.
for sure, for sure. To get into a couple other specific songs, I'll start with Never Coming Home. Um, I think the more I listened to it, the more I enjoyed it. I can understand 100% why Iffy and Gianna did not like that song, but it's also just because this is just not the type of music they listen to. Me
Yeah,
and
for
you,
sure.
we've been having this conversation for over a decade. We
Oh
know
yeah.
our we know our place with Hilltop Hoods, so we know what we're getting into, and anyone else who is a fan of Hilltop Hoods knows that this is bread and butter. This is yeah. Um, but I like it. Positive pump up again style track. I think I love the gift. I love the topic of the gift. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, "Oh, the song actually it actually really hits.
I'm almost surprised that it like took this long into their career to come up with a song like
Yeah,
this. This feels like they should have been like doing it early on. Like
yeah.
this feels formative. And yet, what do you say? We're 9 albums in, and this is like where we're getting this track. But it's definitely a welcome one. Like it's a really nice track. It's got a I guess like the storyline of this is one of the better on the album.
I agree. I agree. And like you said, definitely seems like something that would have come earlier. I can see this coming off the back of like the underground on Drinking from the Sun.
Yes, yes.
It's in that same like nostalgic looking back vibe. But I guess you can't pepper. Maybe they were sitting on it and they were like, we're waiting for the right time to put it out. And yeah, I still think this was a great time to put it out because now artists like them themselves will be passed on to younger generations
Yeah,
through.
they're in a really interesting spot for that type of thing, aren't they? Because they are this legacy act now. Like they are just different to kind of the rest of hip hop and the rest of like a lot of artists, just because they are something that's carried through for the last almost 30 years.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I agree. I agree. And Grace, you can put a star on that. I think that The Gift is probably my favorite track on the project. Another one that I really enjoyed was another one of the singles that you brought up, Don't Happy Be Worry. Yeah, definitely a fun way to discuss the stress, just general stress
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
world around us.
I think the lyrics were good. They felt honest. Like it felt like that was that sound that they're bringing back from other albums, but it had this real like in a light way, like this honesty. And it's like, okay, yeah, this is things aren't always good sometimes, but you can still kind of have fun
For sure.
bringing them up.
For sure.
Um, just on that, one of my other pros here was like, I
Mhm.
feel like the album could be feeling a lot more dated if the lyrics weren't sort of brought up to be a little bit more contemporary.
Mhm.
It doesn't in not all of the songs, but in a lot of the songs, it doesn't feel like it's something that they would have written in '03 or '06 or on one of those older albums
Yeah.
that they just haven't changed with the times. Like it does feel contemporary. It does feel like a song from now, about now.
Yeah.
A few of them have that sort of go about them. There's references to like Mel Robbins' "Let Them" theory on "Get Well Soon." Like it's just like they're keeping up with the times. They're
Yeah.
keeping up with the times.
For sure. For sure. And I think that's always been a consistent theme with them. It's like, yeah, even though they get older, they're still always tapped in.
I feel
Um,
like a lot of artists
Popping
don't do that, but they're on it.
for sure, for sure. And I think my final one for the pros, a final song is Laced Up. It was probably like a single they dropped a hot minute ago. I think it was almost a
Ages. I'm
year ago.
surprised it's even on the album, but
Yeah,
yeah.
facts. But it popped up, and again, I think it's just another fun track. Again, not having where's your money type situation, and
Yeah.
hooks nice and catchy. I think that one is the closest on the project to a, classic Hilltop Hood style hit, if there is one on this project. I think that's like with the catchy hook, with the if you get what I mean.
Yeah. I got to catch him at a festival last year, and
Mhm.
that was on the set list, and it did feel like it fit with the rest of the stuff. Like they played all the classics. They played Nosebleed Section. They played like you know
But and yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like you know what you're getting when you go to like a headlining festival or whatever. But it fit in, and people were loving it, and people were getting really into it. Like it's just like it does sit in that sort of same setting, and it fits well there.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. So yeah, those are some of our pros, but let's see if we have any cons. Dan, would you like to kick it off?
Um, this is kind of going off one of the pros from before, where it's like it's a more streamlined project.
Mhm.
Definitely so. Like I think that does work in its favor, but there is just that little bit less variety across the 12 tracks on the album, I find. It does, yeah, tonally, it just sort of feels quite similar, especially that middle chunk of the album, which is, uh, it is quite fun,
Mhm.
but it does, yeah, it does sometimes overstay its welcome a little bit.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, like they've found their sound, and it's that sound. Like we said right at the top, like It is a Hilltop Hoods album.
Mhm.
It absolutely is. It doesn't feel a lot like there's heaps of new elements getting played into it.
Yeah,
Um, and like credit with some of the production on some of these tracks, you can kind of hear how they're going to be restrung in the future.
yeah,
Like you could just hear the choices and the decisions that they made
yeah,
to make that happen.
for sure.
If you're not across the news, go check out Roo's Room. It's a good scoop there if you're listening.
No, for sure, for sure.
But yeah, so like I don't know, compared it to like Walking Under Stars, for example, that's about 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
It doesn't switch up the tone quite as much,
mhm.
so it doesn't like it waits till the end of the album to really get there.
Yeah,
And I just think like it's a little bit more underrated because everyone loves like the big, like popular
mm,
bops that just go off at gigs and things like that.
yeah,
But when they're earnest and when they're really sincere,
hmm,
like, and when the track slows down, it's just like they can really do something. And it just it took a little bit to get to that point.
hmm,
Unfortunately, on this album, which is again probably
hmm.
another reason that The Moth is one of my favorite tracks. Like it waits till the very end to give me the best it's got.
No, no, for sure. And kind of going off that, I wrote this kind of like 2000s era hoods was like fun, quirky, obviously still figuring themselves out, but had like a lot that hip hop essence to it. Then Drink from the Sun, Walking on the Stars started to bring in a bit more of those pop sensibilities with the Cosby sweaters and I Love It and that, but also the sentimentality, like how sentimental and deep some of those songs, especially on Walking on the
Oh
Star,
yeah.
like you said, like that middle section is just so deep and so personal that it's like, whoo. And there's just something about this album and The Great Expanse, where obviously there's going to be personal moments, Hood's always going to talk about that, but I feel like it just didn't hit on that emotional side. It was like, okay, you're having fun, and no problem with having fun, but I'm like, ooh, like, did you kind of get what I
They
mean?
could they could be yeah, they could just go a little bit harder on that like that emotive feeling. Like
Mhm.
we talked about Don't Happy Be Worried before. Like I like that that does have this almost anxiety to that song.
Mhm.
And it just yeah, that feels earnest and that feels sincere.
Yeah.
But it's done in the same playful style as a lot of the rest of the album, whereas it
Yeah.
doesn't really delve into, some of the colder parts
Mhm.
that they have done earlier in their career.
Mhm. No, for sure, for sure. Uh, Also kind of going off that, and one of the songs, and that will also lead into a couple other songs. I mentioned Never Coming Home in the pros,
Mhm.
but I'd be remiss if I also didn't mention it in the cons. Again, kind of contradicting what I said about what Iggy and Giada said.
That's okay,
Um,
because I'm about to contradict myself as well with something about that
yeah.
song.
Um, Again, I love the positive vibes. I love the energy, but it is like I'm not gonna lie, it's a little cheese. It is a little cheese. But uh, I guess if it ain't broke, it's one of those if it ain't broke type situations. It's hoods. Well,
Yeah,
you can't argue. You can't argue.
it's gonna work. It's doing its job. Like that's something. Um, I am gonna contradict myself in a sort of similar manner here. I talked before about how I really like Nyasa on the top and the bottom of the album. Like you've just got, like it's just the bookends and it's the same vocalist and it's like it just feels like it really brings the whole thing together. It closes it off.
Mhm.
Um, in that vein. 660 feature on Get Well Soon and Never Coming Home. And to me, I don't know. I feel like one of them should have had a different
Mhm. Okay.
feature artist. Like it's, I don't know what it is about that one in particular, but it makes the choruses feel a little bit samey. And it
Mm.
makes, as a whole, the songs feel a little bit samey
Mhm.
in a way that's just that little bit more egregious than it is in the Nyasa example.
No, for sure.
Especially because they're two songs apart. Like it's track 2 and 4 we're talking here. So it feels like you're almost getting deja vu really early on in the album, which is, if you're doing it like a start to finish listen, it's not what you want to be 4 tracks in and feel like I've heard this before.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that was one of the things when I first saw the track list. I'm like, oh, okay, there's only three features on them, and two of them are twice. Granted, again, Nias is a consistent collaborator, so I was like, okay, we can kind of put that one to the side. But yeah, with 660, it's like, yeah, it's also the thing. I talk about this a fair bit on other reviews as well. It's like consistency can be great, but at the same time, it can also be uh not as great when it
Yeah,
comes to
100%.
yeah. Um, and then also, you brought it up in the pros, but unfortunately, I got to bring it up in the cons. Despite how tongue in cheek they are and fun and interesting some of the topics are, for me, the naked Rage Against the Fatigue omelet run, unfortunately, yeah, was not my favorite.
That's totally fine.
I think just some of the hooks. I think it was just some of the hooks and the way they were done that I was like, nah, I'm cool. The verses, I have no problem.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah. The omelet
I think
was one of those
yeah.
like I was like bopping my head like this, and I'm like, I couldn't take it serious.
I'll I'll meet you on Naked. It's not one of my favorites on the album. It's part of that like fun run. Like it is it does fit that bill. But it's yeah, maybe one of the weaker tracks on the album. The
Yeah,
verses for the Omelette I thought are really quite fun. Especially the first just the way it starts. It's just it hooked me in straight away and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with this one.
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no, absolutely no problem against the topics,
Mm.
and the verses. Again, we know the pressure and Suffer can spit, but yeah, I think some of the hooks, it's kind of like yeah, it's a little nah. I'm okay. I'm okay on these ones.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, I think that's all my cons. Do you have anything else?
I got a question in a similar vein.
Mm.
It's not necessarily a pro or a con, but I was curious to get your take on it,
Yeah.
kind of in the context of this. We've talked about a few times now. This is a Hilltop Hoods album by Hilltop Hoods,
Mhm.
uh, and it's one of 9 Hilltop Hoods albums also by Hilltop Hoods. Like, it is one of theirs.
Yeah.
Um, would we be looking at this project in the same way if it wasn't created by a legacy act? Would this hit quite as hard? Like, I think Hilltop Woods have really earned the right to put um,
Okay.
like an album like this out in 2025, and it's good. It's quite good, in fact.
Yeah.
Um, and I think they've still got it. And I think as long as they want to keep putting out albums
Mhm.
that are this quality, then yeah, I'm not going to tire of them anytime soon. And I don't think anyone else will. Like they're legends for a reason.
For sure.
Um, if this was made by like an up and comer, would we have the same sort of opinions, or is it just because we have this idea that
Rose-colored,
this is what?
rose-colored what? Like rose-colored
Yeah,
bubbles? Yeah. Um, I think if this was made by an up-and-comer, someone in the underground scene, no pun intended, uh, um, I actually, unfortunately, don't think I would enjoy it as much. Because it would feel dated. Like
yeah,
we know that this is hood sound,
yeah.
and
If
this,
this was like a
yeah,
22-year-old or something like that,
yeah, I would be like, mm. Yeah, I think unfortunately, I probably wouldn't enjoy this as much if it was from a more underground upcoming artist. I think the hoods have earned their spot to put out something that is again, it's classic. It's uh I don't want to say rinse and repeat because that's very to the point, but it's
no. But they, sorry, you go.
no, yeah, I was saying it's a Hoods album. We know what to expect, and we again as fans for as long as we have been fans are like, yeah, we're gonna eat this up. We love this. Uh,
Yeah,
but if Zion, just to use a name, with this, I think would be like, really? So,
yeah.
what do you think?
Um, yeah. I tend to agree. Like, I think yeah, if a new artist used this type of style, it would just yeah, it would feel a little bit more like one of the like mid to late 2000s hip hop projects, which are there like there are many good ones, especially in Australian
Mhm.
music, but yeah, it's just not where hip hop is in this country and globally
Yeah.
in that sense. But Hilltop Hoods have done an incredible job of curating their sound over many, many years. Like they
Mhm.
have developed, like, if we go start from the calling, like forget the ones in the behind that for a moment, but if we go from like the calling upwards, like they've really curated and nuanced this sound until they've got this completely like realized version of what it is that makes them them and what makes people love
Mhm.
what it is that they love about Hilltop Hoods. There's a reason that they're a legacy act. There's a reason that they're always like the emergency. Let's put you as the headliner in this festival. There's a reason that they can sell out stadiums. There's a reason that Nosebleed Section came like second in the hottest 100 of Australian music. Like
Period.
they
Like,
have earned
there you
this.
go.
Yeah. There's like one song that's apparently better according to that countdown. If that's what you choose to
Yeah.
uh, claim your stake on.
Mhm.
But like yeah, because they've just done such a great job curating this sound and really making it great and making it great in the era that it was great and the fact that it is still great so many years later. Like the calling is over 20 years now.
Mhm.
It's 22 years old. So
Yeah.
the fact that they've done that and the fact that they've done that so effectively,
Mhm.
I think means that a project like this, like Fall from the Light,
Mhm.
it just means that it is so much better
Mhm.
because it's by them.
Mhm.
I don't think we're necessarily looking at it through rose-colored glasses per se. I think that this is just they've created their sound and they're doing their sound well.
Mhm.
They made another Hilltop Hoods album, and guess what? It's good.
No, and I agree. I agree. Which I guess is a great place to lead into our ratings, which is if you are unsure, are we here for this? Does it depend on the day, whether we're here for this or not? Are we feeling iffy about it? So, Dan, I would like you to kick us off.
All right. Fall from the Light for me, I think it's gonna be between a here for it and a depends. So definitely more here for this project than the other side of the scale. Um, But yeah, like it does have a couple of weaknesses. It does have a couple of similarities on the thing that just stop it from being that like perfect project or even like peak hoods. Like it's spectacular that they can make 9 albums and make 9 good albums. Um, but yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about this album. I'm really enjoying it. I'm going to keep listening to it, especially after I start to pick off a few of my favorite songs from the project.
Mhm.
And yeah, I might have the chance at the end of this year or early next year to get a chance to go see them, and I will be singing along to these songs, I'm sure.
For sure, for sure. I am going to say that this is a straight depends on the day. For me, I think I think there just aren't enough songs on it that I would return to personally from their discography and compared to other albums. Like the other albums have left such a big imprint on me that like
Yeah,
kind of like what I said with the Tyler the Creator review. I'm like, this is a great album, but there's X, there's Y, there's Z in front of it because I've again, they're time stamped, they're, moments in time. And
yeah,
um yeah, they would have had to come out with state of the art too to
I get,
um
I guess, yeah, like it's like the biggest challenge for this album is like the rest of the discography. Like they're challenging themselves on this one. Um, but yeah, no, I totally get that.
for sure. Would you final question, would you grab this over Great Expanse?
Yes, I would grab this over Great Expanse. I don't know if it's just where I was with my life at that time or whether it was the project itself. I'm leaning a little bit more towards the project itself here, but it just like that one didn't click for me
Mhm.
like the album before and now the album after. Like that's just it's a little bit of a blind spot in my hood's sort of knowledge just because yeah, I didn't listen to it a whole lot. I liked a little bit of it, but it just like you said, there was like not as much like pulling from that album. Like there's a couple of good I think the singles are the best ones from that, but everything else has sort of started to fade.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree. I think I've been really battling in my mind because I really enjoy those singles. Man, Exercise for me, I love that song. I could listen.
Oh yeah.
I could
That was the one that made me go, oh yeah, actually maybe I'm not giving this album its due diligence. Like I think I went back and listened to it just on the back of that.
Mhm. No, for sure. But yeah, I think I'd agree that Fall from the Light I enjoy a bit more. But I think in the general sense and me at this current moment depends on the day. But let us know what you think out there. Are you here for this? Does it depend on the day? You feeling iffy about it? Hilltop Hoods, Fall from the Light. I am Brew, okay, Culture Black Kid, here with my guest. Who are you again?
I'm Dan from Check Your Pulse. You can catch me around, read some articles. Just happy to be here.
Amazing. And we'll catch you soon because we're going on a little bit of a break, but we'll catch you soon. All right. Peace.
See you around.